Hello, welcome to the Green Machine. We're live, and as always, we are sexy. I'm Dave, your host, joined this week by Martin. No, Nick, he's off somewhere again. Martin, you weren't here last week. Nick's not here this week. See, I'm the only one that's really Green Machine here, aren't I? I'm the only constant between the three of us. Me, the common denominator. See, if you're listening out there in podcast land or watching us live, I'm the only one on the Green Machine that really cares about you.
Not sure about that now, but no, we were on pre-season camps. That's it. Most international, playboys and footballers. We're on our international We're on our holidays at the moment. Like we've done a hard season, hard season. Mykonos was the place, I think, but I didn't get to go there. I went to Cyprus, although I think you referred to it as a totally different country last week's show. So again, finger on the pulse, of course.
I can't even get my own fucking.
And I think, to be fair, I think Nick has absconded because I think the celebrity's gone to his head now from his appearance over the weekend at the KitCon. So
he was at KitCon. I'll tell you what, we'll start with that now. He was at KitCon. There he is there, looking at the big bastard on the right hand side with his Venezia jersey or Venezia, whatever way you want to pronounce it. There he is.
Looking very sexy there. I mean, he brought up the question just so is this a soccer shirt or is it a football shirt or a fashion kind of ensemble? And he's sporting it very well there. I think he's a familiar lad on the catwalk. I don't think it's his first time there in the model pose, definitely. But he's done a great job, I thought.
Yeah, Nick there strutting that ass in that Nietzsche top. We've got a hell of a show for you here tonight. Actually, a lot of rumors, a lot of sex flying around the Irish football team, but not the sort of sex, drugs, and rock and roll. It's wholesome family building stuff, baby boom, as you called it earlier. So we've got a load of stuff there. We got loads of transfers, rumors, and that kind of stuff. And of course, we have our usual little program that I love, especially this week back in the day. Now, as always, just a little bit of housekeeping. You can always have your say and get involved because we just don't care. Oh, we care about you, but we just don't care what you say. We just want attention, really. So, as always, we are on both Facebook channels, Lansdowne Road, Green Machine, and YouTube if you want to watch us there. So, wherever you are, hello. Get your comments in. We'll read them as the show goes on. Martin, are we ready?
Are we ready? Yeah.
Right. Well, let's get into it. Latest news. I don't have a video slide, really. Probably should. But, Stephen Kenny and he seems to have a thing for assistant managers. You can sure pick him, can't he? So basically, John Eustace, yes, that's right. The guy who replaced Gareth Barry, not Gareth Barry, Kevin Barry,
Anthony Barry.
Oh my Jesus. Yes, the guy who replaced Anthony Barry, who replaced, of course, Damien Duff, has now decided to fuck off and take over Birmingham. So here's the announcement anyway. Birmingham City FC announced on their Twitter yesterday. We're delighted to announce John Eustace as our head coach. Welcome to the Blues, John. Jazz hands. Yeah, good luck there, John. Birmingham's a bit of a shit show at the moment, so maybe if he doesn't hire anybody, he might come back. And of course, the FAI weighed in. Anybody wondering, does this mean the end of John Eustace at Ireland? Yes, it does. They announced on Twitter. Stephen Kenny and the FAI thanked John Eustace for his time as assistant coach to a senior men's team and wish him well in his new role as head coach at Birmingham City. You'll regret this, John. So there you go, Martin. Now, of course, the Kenny detractors, which we are not of, will be turning around saying, "Why is Stephen Kenny like to work with? Oh my God, this is terrible. He must be an absolute bollocks." But of course, we know Stephen Kenny's obviously picked some very good coaches because every single one of them, bar Damien Duff, has been headhunted.
Yeah. It's probably expected, to be honest, wasn't it? With us, I think we've had it in the past, and I'm not too worried about it, to be honest. I think Kenny as well, if he's kind of astute on this, the way he can probably sell this idea is that he's obviously in the role as a manager, got a good assistant with him in Keith Andrews, and then it's not you can kind of spin it as a bit of a positive that you actually bring in a coach and you kind of steal their ideas or someone you're familiar with work, and these are professional guys at the end of the day. You can kind of bring in, it's like a consultancy role in a sense, it's turning into. You could think of what we're actually going to get from these aspiring coaches that are working with senior pros at very, very high level. And it kind of works out well, I think. So It's not brilliant, but I think that's a positive spin on it, and I always try to be positive, as you know. But I think like a lot of names being put around again, who can we bring in now? And anyone in Irish football who's going to do well, or anyone we bring in, are they going to be happy with that kind of role, unless they're perhaps a senior kind of advisor who's at the end of their kind of coaching career? We've had young people kind of coming through, well, relatively young and experienced in their coaching careers, and they're going to get headhunted if they're any good. That's it, basically.
Well, like a Steve McLaren at Man United, yeah.
Well, it is a little bit like that, though, isn't it? To be honest, it is. You can bring back someone with an old head. If you want to talk about Man United, brought it back in Mike Feed, and people are a bit familiar with the setup. I think Stephen Kenny, I don't think he'll do that, because I think he's just too set in his ways, and it's a new island under him. So I don't think he's going to want that kind of shadow over him, and I don't think he really needs that kind of experience. But I've no real problem with it. I think actually he could look at this, like I said, and bring in aspiring young coaches with new, fresh ideas, philosophies that you might want to actually introduce into the squad and steal their ideas, basically. Because I think he's astute enough and has enough about him to kind of lead anyway, with Keith Andrews' input alone. So no one, I've seen people linked with the jobs, like
what
all right, maybe not. Well, no, just the chat about it when he was gone, the tweets and stuff, the responses. Well, we should be getting Carsley in. I mean, Carsley's not going to leave the under-21 job for that. John O'Shea, whether he should be promoted or not, people were obviously taking the piss and saying about Robbie Kean, is he still on the payroll? Get him in. But perhaps Stephen Reed, Forrest. I think Kenny could. The way I would approach this if I was Stephen Kenny is I would actually bring in people who perhaps have come through the FAI thing, and even on a money way, if you think about it, you could bring people in here as kind of, like I said, as a consultancy. You could bring them in for a specific camp as a kind of helping coach. What's your ideas? Work with this player. I mean, you got to remember, under Martin O'Neill, we had Roy Keane as the assistant. We had Steve Guppy as like a winger kind of expert or coach. So it's not much to put on the sessions, really. It's just, I would embrace it as bring someone new in every camp in a way, and have the ideas. I think you need a bit more settled, perhaps. It's like basically auditioning people for the role. But when we get to a tournament, hopefully, that you can then say, "Well, I really liked your ideas, and we worked under you. We want to bring you in for that camp." That could be the way to approach this.
Yeah, I mean, Robbie Keane, could you imagine? Jesus, it'd be outstanding there with his coffee. I think Stephen Reed would be a good shout, because he could have a dual role, couldn't he?
Yeah, you could do it part-time, can't you?
Yeah, you can't be a manager and then be, an assistant manager somewhere else. It's just not going to work. You could always do it. John Aldridge. Remember, he was player manager at Tranmere, and he was still going over for Ireland, not getting a game under Mick McCarthy, and then it all went to shit after Iceland. So this one's developing anyway. So we've seen some comments there. We'll have a look. Actually, let's have a look at some of the comments coming in. Darryl O'Connor, maybe Robbie for the role since he's on the books already. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Jerry Murray, Chris Hughton.
Well, he's with Garner, isn't he? Is he Garner?
Yeah.
He's doing the consultancy role there. I can't really see that, and I think that's too much of a shadow over Kenny. That he could be the one if Kenny gets a few runs of poor results. I think you want a good young coach who's going to be at the level. Yeah, be at the level of the players in a way, like a modern coach. I don't think Chris Hughton is that anymore, to be honest.
No, I don't think he'd be getting another manager's job. Let's be honest. Let's have a look at some of the transfers anyway. So one today, this came in quite. I suppose relatively late anyway. Robbie Brady, not Chris, not Chris Hughton, sorry. On the graphic there, for those of you listening at home. So Robbie Brady has signed his contract with Preston North End. So he's joined the graveyard of Irish footballers, really. Sorry, the Republic of Preston, I think someone said it. So he's there now. I think he got like 7 players. First team players actually at Preston at the moment anyway, but he signed there. His contract ended with Bournemouth, who are now in the Premier League. He was offered a new contract with Bournemouth, obviously wasn't satisfactory, and he had several other offers as well. I don't know, do you know how long? I couldn't find any information for how many years.
Year. I think it's only a year. Yeah,
probably a rolling contract.
It's a free transfer, isn't he? So you can take him on that as a risk, and I think it's a great move for him. I hope he gets fit. I can still see him if he did get fit. This kind of conversation talking about Robbie Brady and where he is contract wise is reminding me of the James McCarthy situation with Celtic.
Yeah.
I think, with respect to James McCarthy, getting back Robbie Brady into the Ireland squad out of the two of them, if you had to have a choice, I would want Robbie Brady back and fit and firing if he's ever going to come back rather than James McCarthy. I think we've got Josh Cullen now to do the job that James McCarthy does. But Robbie, I think, can offer us something if he does get a run of games and fit. And this could be, I'm really hoping that it works out for him. He's 30 years old. Love Robbie Brady to bits. I think he's an exceptional footballer. He can play anywhere in the team, I believe. And it's just about getting him fit and getting him playing games now and getting a run. And I like him. I hope he gets a good run of fitness and let us see a bit more of Robbie Brady that he was, basically, because he could have been a lot better. And it's just sadly really impacted by injuries.
Yeah, no, I mean, we know the talent of Robbie Brady here. Just looking at some of the comments. Jerry Murray, Presic just signed Zinedine or Zidane Hendrick, that killer touch in midfield. Yes, those 2-inch passes flying around the place. I'm sure. Jerry Murray continuing his weekly onslaught of Jeffrey. Zinedine Hendrick for Juve, or Hendrick. Zinedine Hendrick for Ballon Dope.
Oh, Jesus.
Fucking hell.
So harsh, Jesus.
Yeah, that was terrible, Jerry. Keep doing it. But
well, of course, like Jeff Hendrick and Robbie Brady both came through from St Kevin's Boys in Dublin, and in the same team year as well. And Robbie was tearing up at that age, but Jeff couldn't actually get in the side that year. And then, to be frank, I think near enough everyone out of that St Kevin's Boys team, I'm sure I'll be corrected if I'm wrong, would say they all got kind of international. Pro contracts, basically, but Jeff and Robbie were the ones to going to go on and be the better of the lot, basically, and get a proper career out of it, I suppose.
2 pounds there. Daryl Connor on YouTube. Still think Brady has more to offer us, but hope Preston don't destroy it. They are the graveyard of Irish players, aren't they? Like, all the promising players go there now. Even Malumbi. He crawled out of that, didn't he? He got out of that shit.
It'd be interesting what they do with Robbie Brady, though, where they play him, and I think I'd like him to kind of probably
on the bench
get fit. No, but I'd like I think I don't really want him doing anything exertion wise, like playing left back or left wing. I want him just minutes. No, I just want him sitting in the hole behind the forwards and stuff, because that's where I think we could get a lot out of him. I think he's the player who can do that for us. And you know, you might see a bit of a renaissance like Wes, perhaps, you know, going down a level. You could see it. If he stays fit. I know that's very, very optimistic, but I'm more optimistic of Robbie Brady than I am with James McCarthy when he went to Celtic. And, you know, I've seen stuff tonight about James McCarthy that he's lost 4 kgs and he's flying fit and stuff. But that's basically a year on from that move to Celtic, and he's done nothing up there, has he? So
James McCarthy, the owner of the greatest agent in the world, 4-year contract. Now, listen, all joking aside, we wish Robbie Brady the best. If he could get it, it's not going to happen though. But if we could get him back in the Ireland team, he offers us something we don't have, and we desperately need somebody who can lock the door. But I'm not sure if it's going to happen, quite frankly. Another little transfer as well. Welcome to Stoke City, Gavin Kilkenny. He's moved on a loan from Bournemouth, who were obviously in the Premier League. Wasn't going to get a lot of football there. Had a good spell at the beginning last season for Burnley. And obviously didn't, you know, just kind of fell away a little bit from there. But he has a chance to really show what he's made of at Stoke City. I think this is a cracking mood for the lad, actually, in the Championship, man. I think it's a really good move.
Yeah, I hope it works out well for him as well. He needs to play football now at his age and show us what he's about. And good move. Very good.
Yeah, he does it for them week in, week out. Stephen Kenny has another option in midfield.
Yeah, without doubt, yeah.
And speaking of midfield, we got a few comments about this here. So Jason Knight, Football Insider, was the nicest graphic I could find, to be fair. So that's why I use it, but it's all over the internet. Burnley lineup offer for Derby County star Jason Knight. Obviously Jason Knight is currently a League One player, but we know he's not really a League One player. Now, when I saw this, I thought, Burnley, we've got a few comments on this as well, and we'll get through those in a second. I was like, do we really want to create a player going to Burnley? But then I forgot, obviously, Vincent Kompany is the coach there. So it's a whole different setup. you know, do we really want him going to Burnley, or do we think he should be punching a bit higher Premier League?
I think he's young enough, and I think he's just got to play regular football, because even if you think about it, with Ireland, he did very well away to Luxembourg that time. Absolutely brilliant. Came on, changed the game. I think you got to remember then Stephen Kenny didn't start him in some games. And I think he needs to get a good run of games now and make himself first name on that team sheet for Stephen Kenny. He'll do that by playing regular football. So he's got to get the choice right of his move, and then just kick on again from there. I think he's a massive, acquisition for a commodity, basically, for Derby. They can cash in on him if they can sell him, and yeah, he'll do really well, I think, for them. Wherever he goes, I think he's got to play football, though. I think he's got to be clever with his choice.
Fair. I mean, Paul Culleton here has just put a comment up. So, what do you guys think of Robbie Brady signing a 1-year contract, Preston North End? Sorry, that's the wrong player, isn't it? I've bished again. You just answered that one. Sorry. There is one here about Jason Knight. See, this is why I normally leave the comments to the end, because I'm too stupid to do it. Sorry, I thought I had a comment there. Oh my god. We'll cut that bit out, Martin, on the
on the live show.
On the live show. Oh, we just got some breaking news here. Hold on. Kieran Boyle. Lads, the 4th of July. In the US, there's burgers on the grill, beer in the cooler, fireworks in the air, but anyone at the barbecue wants to talk about this hashtag away to Jesus, about hashtag bring back Eddie. That's USA, Kieran. Absolutely. Get rid of fucking Umbro, for God's sakes.
Yeah. Happy 4th of July to you. Fair play. Join us in there.
Yep. Kieran, who's also on their way to you, mate. Your very own Green Machine sticker on the way to the USA over there. So they should be with you any moment, or well, not any moment, but any day now anyway. So keep checking in your post. Just saw a comment here, actually. I wasn't aware of this. Paul Culleton again. If Conor Hourihane was to move to Derby County League One next season, will that severely hinder his international career, bearing in mind he'll be 32 in February? I wasn't aware if that's a rumor. If that's true, Paul, I'm not aware of it. That slipped by us. Oh, absolutely. I think Conor Hourihane will be struggling to get into that. I think what we saw in the last window was a player like Conor Hourihane, who's quite similar to a player like Jeffrey, except Conor has a bit more about him because he's a dead ball specialist. That's the only thing, really. But he's a bit of a luxury player, isn't he, Mark? Like he doesn't really impact on the game. He's never going to get 90 minutes. So that would be hard enough for him anyway. And we saw in the last window, I went on about it enough times, when we had a luxury player, i.e. Jeff, in the first 2 games, we struggled in midfield. We got overrun. When you took the luxury guys out, you put the workhorses in, i.e. Knight, Cullen, and Malumbi run around.
Yeah.
Smashing things up, we were so much better, and that's why we had a positive end to the last window. So I absolutely think if he goes to Derby, that is the end, unless there's a massive injury crisis. That would be the end of Conor Hourihane's international career, if it isn't already warranted already.
It is. It's fading away, isn't it? His career's on a downward trajectory. He's got a very good agent. He's getting him good moves because he's obviously still on probably good wages from under his contract, and just getting shifted around on loans and whatever deals they're doing to pay his wages. He's doing all right out of it. But no, look, this level of the game now is drifting by him, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you got Gavin Kean coming up through the ranks there as well, and you got a few others. So I think, unless there was an absolute injury crisis, I think, it's the end there. Another little rant. Well, probably won't be hitting the Ireland squad anytime soon. That is Danny Mandrew, who has agreed to join. Well, he hasn't. He's going to join Lincoln. But there was a rumor that he's going to go to MK Dons in League One. Now, I posted this up, Martin, the other day on Facebook that he'd agreed to join MK Dons from Shamrock Rovers. Fee around 60 grand. And I put up, oh my God, it's a great fee. I did think it was 600 grand. I misread it. And I was like, this is a great fee. I thought, 600 grand for a League of Ireland club, man, that's fantastic. Brilliant stuff. And no, it wasn't. And I got slaughtered. 60 grand. Are you taking the piss, lad, and all this stuff? Are you having a laugh? What the fuck's wrong with you? And then I was like, oh, I'm really sorry. It was actually 60, not 600. Yeah. Sorry. But yes, he's not even going for 60 grand. You were telling me. He looks.
He's going for less than that. There's actually apparently Dan McDonald said that there was. I seen something early from him. He said there was a release clause of 30 grand, and a German club had come in for him, and they were a bit off put by this low release clause, thinking, "Geez, what the hell is wrong with this player? What's going on? Why is it such a low
missing a leg
clause?"
or something?
I mean, look, it's a good move for him, and take a chance in that league. I mean, it's just that's about the fee, isn't it? You think back, you think years ago though. You just think of like what Seamus went 4 years ago to Everton, and it's absolutely ridiculous, isn't it? It's that money now, but
sorry,
out of context.
For those of you, for those of you listening at home on the podcast, Jerry Barry's just put up. We have it on screen. There's 60 fucking euro, more like it. No, he's very talented. Although I'm sure Nick would agree if he was on. He hates Danny Andrew, doesn't he? Those fam, Jesus. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Irish talent. I mean, he's a very good player. He's a good talent, but he should be gone. Should be another 0 on the end there, but never mind.
But that's where it is, the League of Ireland. I don't know enough about it, to be honest, but that is low money, isn't it, for people? But if you think he's got a release clause of his contract of that low, it's because that's where the league is. Basically, you can take a punt on these players, can't you? If you know that that's their release clause, you could just say, "Come over and 30 grand to Premier League or All right, it's not Premier League, Championship, League One. It's absolutely nothing to them. It really is, and take a punt on him. Because he can go back there if it doesn't work out. So I don't begrudge him. He's going to get a few bob out of it as well. So it's not a bad move for him.
No, fair play. I mean, I know he's played his last game. He had a bust up with Stephen Bradley, apparently. I don't know what it is, but he came in and said he's played his last game for Shamrock Rovers. Don't know. Don't know what's happened. Speaking of another player, could be on the move. Troy Parrott says, this according to Irish propaganda, good little page. A good page on sorry, don't mean like that. I mean, I follow it, so I share his stuff on Facebook, so it's got to be a good page. Yes, he has said that Troy Parrott has said he wants to impress Antonio Conte on Spurs pre-season tour, according to reports. And apparently Conte specifically requested that Troy be on that tour. I mean, he did well in the international. He scored a lovely goal against Scotland in the international break. So, I mean, it's not outrageous to think, but he probably needs to have a decent spell at a championship club this season, doesn't he, before he starts thinking about making it at Spurs.
Yeah, I think we're doing no harm, though, training with Spurs, seeing where they are, because I think he's got to be quite clever looking at their squad. I mean, I know they signed Richarlison now, isn't it? So that kind of puts him down the pecking order a little bit. Well, it does put him down the pecking order, let's be honest. I think he's a brilliant player. I think he should play a lot more in the Championship. He's very young still. We've got to be patient with him. And also just understand that he's at a really top-class club at Spurs, where it's going to be very hard for him to get into that team, let's be honest. He needs to get the choice right of where he goes on loan, but I think do pre-season at Tottenham. Make sure you're in the thoughts of the manager. I think it won't do him any good staying with Spurs for the season and just playing 3 or 4 games and playing the League Cup and things like that. He needs to go out on loan. I think that's what Tottenham will do with him. It's interesting. I was looking at Tottenham signed a young goalkeeper. Well, we've signed 2 Irish goalkeepers recently the past few days. Young lads, especially in under-19 goalkeeper Aaron Maguire. And I was looking because where I'm in London, Enfield Town is our local club, and they're playing Tottenham. Tottenham's up the road from us, and they're playing Tottenham under-21s in a game soon as part of a pre-season friendly. And I was just looking at Tottenham's under-21 squad, and Troy Parrott's actually named still in that 21 squad. And this Aaron Maguire is as well, who's just signed for them. So I'm hoping to go along to that. It's on the 12th of July. So I'm hoping to go. Well, yeah, I think I'll march down the road to that one, David. And,
get your high vis on.
Yeah, I'm not doing car park patrolling that day with the high vis on. But I think I'll head down to that and just tuck the flute in the back pocket, and then I'll go and watch the under-21s.
I remember my brother told me a very funny story about these lads came over from England. You know, there's obviously still in Ireland, my brother, and these lads came over from England. This fella was from the north, and he had like an orange high vis vest. He came out, he put it on, and he starts marching on the spot. It's like, dude, and they're looking at him going, "Look at me, lads, I'm a wanker." English lads are like, "What?" No fucking clue. But yeah, nothing against the 12th of July.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm hoping to go see. I think Aaron Maguire might certainly be in the Tottenham squad to see him. So I'm hoping there'll be a bit of Irish interest for me at that. But yeah, it was interesting that Troy was in the under-21s squad with Tottenham officially on their website. But I'd fully expect him to be off doing, the senior stuff with them in pre-season.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, he's a hell of a talent. Well, we have a little look. Let's move on now. So I don't think there's any other pre-season stuff or any other transfers. So we'll move it on to a bit of social media watch. Starting this week with our first bit of social media is probably the world's most fucking half-hearted tweet I've seen in my entire life. It comes from not Danny Mandro. Jesus Christ. Cut that bit out. I'm fucking great today. I'm flying today. Richard Keogh about the Derby County takeover. Richard Keogh, really pleased to see Derby County official takeover completed. Wishing everyone at the club the very best. And he even has a little ram because they're called the Rams. Ah. Yeah, I'm sure he means that. Probably.
Yeah, it's a strange one though. It's not something I would expect of him to be kind of a bit funny like that. He done right out of it, didn't he? In the end, I mean, he was wronged completely, and he got the money out of them. So,
yeah, put him to further break of extinction. Fuck him.
Yeah, yeah. No sympathy for them at all. But I was just surprised that he bothered to doing it. To be honest, but
yeah, I'm sure he's as happy as that as the Roy Keane household was just before Robbie Keane fucking scored, or just after Robbie Keane scored against Germany. But a bit of genuine happy news anyway. So Darren Randolph, he is a daddy with his long-term girlfriend Alexandra Burke, the beautiful Alexandra Burke, and even more beautiful Darren Randolph. It's a lovely head. Yes, they have given birth. I don't know the sex of the child, but there's a pair of feet. So and it's on a postcard, really.
They've missed the trick there, though. Like, he's a goalkeeper, isn't it? You got to put the hands up there, haven't you? Jeez, don't be worrying about the feet. Daddy made the living out of using his hands.
You're wasted. You're absolutely wasted on this podcast.
He should have had predators on them. He should have had predators on the predator gloves and everything, doing endorsement. Other people would have done that with hello and all that stuff. Jesus.
Yeah, or he could have actually like worn a little jersey. He could have worn like a little jersey, and then John Courtney could have sold it.
Jesus. Oh dear. Hallelujah. Anyway.
Hallelujah.
That was one of our songs, obviously.
Yeah. She's actually very nice. I met both of them, not together, obviously. No, she's really nice. She's a lovely lady. She's a big, I work in the West End. She's a big star in the West End, and she's absolutely lovely, genuinely. So it's a lovely couple.
Yeah, fair play to him. Yeah, I love Darren Randolph as well. He's all sound. His family's lovely. Met him a few times.
Exactly, and that is why people say, "Oh, why do you want to sit on the bench?" That's why he wanted to sit on the bench, because he had a good wage coming in a London club where his missus is. He wants to be close to the missus. Wants to start a family. Best of luck to you, mate. His Ireland career is probably done, and you can't really blame Stephen Kenny for that. But there you go. Another bit of happy news: Aaron McLean and James McLean are expecting another child, which I think is fantastic. They're a lovely couple, those two.
James. Yeah, brilliant. Lovely story, that, because I seen he was back in Derry, wasn't he, to see the mural of him on the side of the wall there in Derry.
Yeah.
And, look, James McLean gets hammered by a lot of people. Right, let's be honest, non-Irish and abusive kind of fans of football, apparently. But he does an awful lot for people, and Erin does as well. Lovely again with the fans. That's why I posted anyway, because always got a lot of time for fans, sign stuff, really supports like different supporters clubs and stuff. Great time for them. Lovely family, and fair play to them. Yeah, congrats, brilliant.
Yeah, no, it's wonderful to see. And also a little bit of social media ourselves. If you didn't catch it, we had an interview with the one and only legendary Terry Phelan. The Terry Phelan interview, that is out. It's live. It's on our Spotify, Google. It's on the Facebook page. It's on the greenmachinepodcast.com. Go and check it out. Terry Phelan, a friend of the podcast and a friend of both pages, actually. Really lovely guy. Martin, yourself and Nick did the interview. I had a little chat with Terry before, and I wasn't available for it, sadly. Yeah. So we had a B team do it. What did you Yeah, I mean, you guys had a great chat on there. I mean, you covered a whole host of stuff, didn't you? I didn't know he was linked with Barca in '92 and Man United.
Spoke to Johan Cruyff and everything. Fantastic. Yeah. Like, it's well worth a listen. I know we say that about all our wonderful interviews and stuff, but like, just the nicest chap I've spoken to for a long time, and no ego at all. Just so grounded and had an amazing career. And like, he speaks about on the thing, like, he couldn't believe that he went for 2.5 million at that time. That was ridiculous money. And he actually gave the context. I asked him about like, how good was Dennis Irwin and was he underrated? And he said that Dennis moved around the same time as him and was like 750 grand. And he goes, it was ridiculous that he was ever 2.5 million. And you know, he'd been offered to other clubs and couldn't get the move to like Man United and stuff like that. But
I had no idea. Nick found this out that he actually held the record at the time, the joint most expensive British defender in British football. Yeah, 2.5 million.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a great player.
Brilliant. Yeah. Great interview with him, and he, you know, what a career he had, like Wimbledon, all right, Chelsea, Everton, Man City as well. And like, he goes on the interview, we covered a lot. We could have chatted about 3 or 4 hours. We're gonna have to definitely get him back on again because he was just fantastic, and well worth a listen to do that.
100%. That interview is live on the Green Machine podcast website. It's also on the Spotify channel. If you want to go on there, have a listen, give us a review, please share it. We really do appreciate it. We really want to get that out there. But that's a Terry Phelan interview. In fact, I have a little clip of that here now. So we're going to listen to Terry. It's about a minute long, and Terry explains how he got his Ireland call up and how he thought it was actually a wind up. Very funny story here. This is sort of like a bit of a cut down version, but so many great stories on the podcast. Definitely give it a listen. But have a listen to this. I'm about a minute long. This is Terry on his call up for the Ireland football team back in 1991, I think it was.
Hello, is that Mr. Phelan? Is that Terry Phelan? And I'm thinking, yes, it is. And he's like, listen, we'd like you to come over to Ireland, Dublin, such a day. We're playing a game on Wednesday. We'd like you to fly over. We'll have a ticket ready for you. And I went, Dennis Wise, bollocks off. Fash, stop pissing about. Anyway, I put the phone down. Phone rang again. Is that Mr. Phelan, Mr. Terry Phelan? Yes. We'd like you to get on a flight from Manchester to Dublin, please, for Sunday night, Monday morning. We've got a game on Wednesday. And I went, Dennis, Fash, Corky, I'm not having it. And I put the phone down again. It rung again. And the chap went, now, Mr. Phelan, if you put the phone down one more time, you'll never play for Ireland. And it was Morris Setters, Jack's right-hand man. And I'm thinking, oh, my God. I said, Morris, I'm very sorry. You know, the lads at Wimbledon play pranks on you and, you know.
So just a little snippet there, but do check it out. It's on the Green Machine podcast website, and it's also on the Facebook pages and Spotify. It's all over the place. So do give it a listen and a share. Yeah, we'll definitely get him on again. We'll also have a few other guests coming as well, but definitely enjoyed that one. Where are we? I've become lost in my flurry of pictures. I think that's it, actually, Martin. I think we're going to move it on to this week back in the day. Not much going on in Irish football, just lots of baby making. But other than that, not really a great deal.
Baby making and deliverance, I suppose, has happened as well. So, 9 months ago, I'm trying to think, did we have a match then? Darren Randolph wasn't called up. We know what he got up to, but fair play.
Yeah, they were all playing football. He was at home making babies with Alexander Burke. Now, I love my country, but I know what I'd rather do.
Jesus.
Fucking hell. No, well in, lad. Let's have a little look at, before we do the comments, we're going to have a little look at this week back in the day and a clip especially chosen from the Lansdowneroad.ie archives because of a ton of video and I don't know what to do with it sometimes. Anyway, on this day back in 1994, the Republic of Ireland went out of USA 94 to a 2-0 loss to Holland in the second round. It was a bit shit. It was in Florida. It wasn't very good. Terry Phelan, glad you guys didn't mention this to him, actually, but he did make a bit of an error for the first goal of Packy Bonner. Jesus Christ.
That was an awful one, yeah.
That was Packy shouldn't have been in the team. He should not have been in the team. He was unattached. He did join. He was released by Celtic and then went back to Celtic after the World Cup. So I don't know what he was doing there. Alan Kelly should have been a goal, really, but whatever. So anyway, we went out. But this particular clip is of a goal, and in my opinion, Martin, this should stand. It was nothing wrong with it. Paul McGrath showing a lovely bit of skill. Let's have a little look at it here on this day back in 1994.
Jason McIntyre here for Ireland. Facing up to Newman. Back to Hout. Up across to McGrath. Oh, what a goal by Paul McGrath. Referee looking to the linesman. Frank Rijkaard feeling his head.
You see it, he's just given it for Paul raising his boot. It was a great bit of skill. I mean, if Dennis Bergkamp does that at the other end, they'll call it great skill.
I mean, he didn't even go near the back of his head, and he's like touching the back of his head, that dirty bastard.
Brilliant. That was amazing. I mean, look, the ball actually from Ray Houghton is underrated as well. Outside
gorgeous, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic little pass. But yeah, it wasn't to be, was over there for us, sadly. You could just see even McIntyre there, you know, how lethargic even he looked there. It just looked a bit slower than he usually was. Even just jinking past someone there because you were trying to conserve so much energy. But yeah, it's a tough one, that 94.
Yeah, that was tough. I mean, you know, trying to put him under pressure at a World Cup in the summertime in America, in the United States of America, was absolute insanity. No matter where you are, unless you're in Aspen somewhere, it's fucking hot. Yeah, and he actually didn't go. Jack missed out on I think we spoke about this last week. Jack missed out on a sports science get together. He was unwell.
Right.
Didn't go to the one in 1990 either. But anyway, yeah, great goal. And as Niall Quinn rightly said on the commentary, Dennis Bergkamp does that down the end. It's great skill, but an Irish lad does it and it's called off. But anyway, we're going to go into the comments and then we're going to leave you guys go. See what we have. We've got a few comments here. Shane Mackay. Rijkaard was still looking for Rudy Baller spit 4 years on.
Jesus, iconic that, wasn't it?
Oh, Jesus Christ! Yeah, that was
that 1990. The fact that they played them in that 1990 World Cup was only because we got Romania in the draw, wasn't it? Yeah. So we could have been us against
West Germany.
It would have been against Germany. Yeah. So that was iconic.
Yeah, we finished second. In the group because of lots, because we all finished in the exact same points, and England won the group. So it's a bit mad, isn't it? Darrell O'Connor about Richard Keogh. Real narrow says any time Richard Keogh tried to play a pass out from the back. I think you could say it about most Irish defenders, to be honest with you, Darrell, except for Collins and the lads that played against the Ukraine. But imagine Pep Guardiola on touchline. Fucking get rid of it. Shane Mackay. On the subject of young Irish Spurs players, what's happening with Jamie Bowden? What's happening, Martin?
Well, you tell me, Dave.
You're the one that's going down.
I've not heard much about him at all with it, but no, I will look into it and see what's going on. But
get that fucking sash
I've got to get my finger on the pulse of the Spurs a little bit because, as I said, they recruited a few Irish players there, so I need to make sure I get my finger on the pulse.
Yeah, get your sash on, your bowler hat, march down to that fucking ground on the 12th. Out you go, son. Jerry Murray, Spurs Stop Club. What are you smoking there, man? Don't listen. Jerry, I can explain he's a Man United fan. Yeah, you know.
Good signing that Richarlison. I think that, it just shows you where they are. It's not a bad signing.
Richarlison?
For them, for Tottenham.
What, from Everton?
From Everton, yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, dear. Does go to show you where they are, doesn't it? Darrell O'Connor, did you see the list of cities for World Cup 26 in USA, Canada, and Mexico? Looks class. I won't be settling down until after Kenny takes us there. Oh, that'd be some World Cup, man. But you'd be polluting the art, though, with your carbon footprint. Won't you get planes everywhere?
Be interesting, though. Yeah, there's a few dodgy places, though. I wouldn't like to set foot in that list, I think. But, yeah.
Well,
we'll get there first.
Absolutely. And which one? Which city are you referring to?
I'm not going to even go into it. I think one of the Mexican ones and not Mexico. One of them is a bit dodgy, I think.
Fucking Juarez, Mexico. Fuck that. Oh, good. Jerry Murray again. Preston should sign Zinedine Hendrick, that killer touch midfield. Sorry, I already done on that one. I'm having a fucking blind of the comments.
Fucking, you knew you did that, but you just wanted to hammer him again.
Anytime I'm getting a knife into it. Zinedine Hendrick appeared on McCarthy for Preston. Watch them fly up the divisions. Yeah, it is a bit depressing, isn't it? Daryl Cotter can't beat the Monday night live stream story, lads. Thank you very much, Daryl. Story to you, son. Great to have you guys tuning in again. And the last one, we'll leave it to Jerry, the star of the show this week. Jerry Murray, oh Jesus, a Man U supporter.
Oh.
I know, Jerry. I know. And I have two of them. I have to deal with two of them. And then you want to hear this shite on the KickCon convention one. Not the John Courtney one. The other one. Sorry. But, we're so gonna get fucking ostracized by FAI. But anyway, you want to see them going on about, we're all Man United fans, all three of us. Fucking wankers.
No, anyway, the KickCon though, we should cover that. It was go Shane.
He did. Well done. I tell you what, that takes some doing. That really does. Fair play, Nick. And you never know, there's another one. And I can hear the fans calling for it. You might have a live episode there in person of the Green Machine. Just saying.
Yeah, we're definitely going to get involved in it now. But no, it was really interesting in that. And I've spoken enough on this about kits and my love of kits and all sorts of stuff. And if anyone can find the elusive blue goalkeeper kit Gavin Bazunu wore, if you can find me a photo of any kid, right, or adult, I'm going to say, I'm not asking photos of kids. Photo of anyone wearing the shirt that they brought from Umbro Island, Elveries, of that shirt that was in the shops, apparently.
Man, we've gone through this before. John has gone through this with you before. You missed your chance. It was released. There was 5 of them. It's gone. Get over it. You can't have it. Because that's what we did. That's how we do. We put 5 shirts on the line.
Yeah.
We sell them, or we just give them away and sell them 10 years later on Twitter. Anyway, Jerry Murray, he's having a good time. Listen, we've had a good time here too. Just a reminder, if you want your Green Machine podcast stickers, we won't just send you one. You didn't just send one through the post, Mark.
No, did I?
No, you sent 2.
Jesus, I sent about 5. But
get your
if you're in the Paphos area of Cyprus, if you could find one, I'll buy you a pint. Send me a photo with it. There's a few around there, and there was one at Ed Sheeran at Wembley the other night as well.
There was. I should have put the bloody video up of that.
Yeah, Jesus. I mean, going to all this effort and and to the Irish song, he turned Wembley. I was very impressed, to be honest. Now, I know a lot of people will say Ed Sheeran, absolutely brilliant. Turned the home of English football, green, white, and orange for the Irish song that he played, and I've made sure I get my sticker in there as well. So,
Ed Sheeran Irish when he's in fucking Ireland and he's whatever. Okay,
he was Welsh. He was Welsh.
You fool!
Oh, Jesus! Here we are, Mr. U2.
I didn't even mention you, fucking.
Oh my God! He dropped the bomb. Unbelievable.
It's 10 o'clock. I can say what I want. It's fucking live. It's live stream. It's none of this shit. Anyway, Nick's not on, so he can't. This is what happened. You see, we lose our Claude McLealy in midfield. You let the 2 lads fucking run.
That's it.
10-1. Anyway, listen. Sorry. Where was I? Green Machine stickers, right? If you want 5, and if you're very good, you might get 6. Hey, if Martin's feeling extra generous. Just send us a DM. We'll get them out to you. We are going to set up a proper link and a proper Google form, and then you can fill your address in and whatever. And then we'll take your details, and then we'll start sending you random messages about stuff. We'll sell your data on, and it'll be absolutely fun. No, we won't. We won't do that.
We are stickers. We want to see them around the world on your holidays or whatever you are, and not just in Dublin airport queues. We want to see them.
No, because no fuckers going to Dublin airport at the moment.
But we want to see them on your holidays or the most obscure place, and we will get. I promise, we'll provide a fantastic prize. We'll obviously announce where what we're going to give as well, and a deadline for it. But if you're on your holidays and you've got stickers,
We'll think of what to give out, is what Martin's trying to say.
No, we will have a good prize, and we will. So it's to get them in the most obscure places, but have a photo with them or famous people with them as well. Will be very helpful. So yeah. Anyway, that's my little appeal. Anyway,
stick them up to
Jesus. Yeah, no, we want it on proper footballers. We want them. If you get one with a proper footballer.
Oh god, Shane McCarthy there saying he fully agrees, mate. I'm pretty sure about Ed Sheeran.
Yeah, probably was it.
And you two's amazing. Good man, Shane.
Jesus.
Well done. Jerry Marigan. And we are going to finish in this one. A little bit of a pat on the back there. Great show, lads. Very funny, even though he's supposed to be serious. We don't give a shit, Jerry. We really don't. And that's what makes us different from all the other podcasts as well. And actually, sorry, speaking of another podcast, I do apologise. I did see one here from Irish Football Blog. Brian Barry Murphy. That's who... Irish Football Blog thinks that we could have as assistant manager. Yeah, so there's an interesting one there. And of course, you can catch up on Pelicast. There you go, Pelicast there. Aren't we lovely? We give free advertisement to our to our to our friends.
Frenemies.
Pelicast, and you got those lads, Irish Football Blogs on Twitter as well. So they're good lads over there. So anyway, we are going to go. I'm punchy as hell. Give us a follow on the Facebook page, the JM Podcast. Give us a follow on lansdowneroad.ie if you haven't already. Facebook.com/lansdowneroad.ie. If you want to listen back to this episode, an audio version of this episode, which will be going up live once we're done here, you can go to thegreatmachinepodcast.com, or you can go onto our Facebook pages, Twitter, Spotify, everything. It's all there. And we've got, actually, at the moment, the paint's just dried on it, but we do have a lovely little series at the moment over there, and that is the World Cup 2002 20th anniversary podcast series. Nick's love child, his labour of love. We've got watch-alongs with episodes. We've got snippets from Matt Holland. We got all sorts of stuff there. It's a really, really good listen. Do give it a go. If you, like Nick, have a hard on for the 2002 World Cup, because he doesn't shut up about it. And I swear to God, we're not doing the 25th anniversary one. You can fuck off. Love you, Nick, and love you all. And we're going to leave you to it, guys. Thank you so much. As always, don't use goTogate.com for any away trips or just anything in general. They are bastards, but you're not. You're lovely. We're lovely. We're going to leave you to it, guys. Thank you very much, Martin. Thank you for showing up this week. We'll be off to next week. Who knows? Hopefully, we'll have Nick back. I'll be here because I'm always here anyway, and that's what I do. Hopefully, you'll be here again next week. We're going to love you, leave you, guys. Thank you very much. Be safe and God bless.